Hey guys, Taylor here with Simply Betta. I hope everyone's doing great today because I'm talking about a pretty fun topic that I like talking about to everybody. It's live foods, specifically live foods for fish and how to keep them and cultivate them. It's kind of one of my weird hobbies that I don't tell anybody about, at least in real life. Like I don't tell people in real life that I have tons and tons of worm cultures and that I enjoy them. So live foods are something that I've put a lot of effort into as I breed bettas. It's just something that you kind of have to do. First of all, little baby bettas, when they're little itty bitty about the size of eyelashes, for a long time, they'll only go after live foods. You can't feed them pellets or flakes. It's just a really good idea for maintaining breeding fish and just making sure your fish are as healthy as possible is to offer them live foods. It will help keep your water nice and clean or cleaner because there's less waste that the fish produces, and it's just a good idea. A lot of fish breeders will definitely say like, okay, well, if you want this fish to breed, start feeding it live foods, for like a week and then breed them and it'll be so much easier and so much better. So I like keeping live foods for my fish, and in the past I've had tons of them, but lately I haven't had very good luck at all. I lost most of my live cultures this summer, actually. I used grindle worms to feed a lot of my fish, including babies and adults, and I lost all my cultures this year. I'm not really sure why. They just stopped producing and they all died out, and it's probably something I did. I don't know. Let's see. I used to have an aquatic blackworm culture that crashed and I lost all my worms. I've tried to keep Daphnia a few times, but I've never really succeeded with it. I'd like to try again. And what else? Oh, over the summer, my white worm culture really dropped off because of the warm temperatures, so I'm hoping to get that going again. So I need to establish all of my live cultures again. I really, really do. And that's what I'm going to be doing over the next few days. I'll start with making new cultures for my white worms, which are a nice, big, fat white worm that's super nutritious that I like to feed my adult fish that I really, really like. Because once those cultures get going, man, you get these big masses of these little tiny wriggly worms, and I just love it. Those are what I'll be talking about today, white worms. And then I think I'll have a few videos coming up where I'll be doing Daphnia and black worms and grindle worms. But today I'm just going to be doing white worms. So yes, I love white worms. I feed them to my adults. It's a nice big worm and pretty easy to culture, but they need cool temperatures. Today I'm going to be making some new cultures, and you can come along and see how I do it. I've been keeping my white worm cultures in the garage, which works great in the winter because it's nice and cool out there, but as soon as summer hit, it became pretty warm, and my cultures really suffered. Okay, so earlier this summer it started getting hot, so I decided I was going to put like some emergency cultures in the back of the fridge, tucked back into a corner, and just hope that nobody noticed that I had worms and dirt in the fridge with all of our food. So don't tell my family. Shh. It worked great though. My white worm culture is still alive, not producing much, but definitely still alive. So it's time to make some new cultures. Okay, let's get a look at these guys. They probably all ran and hid under the surface because I kind of disturbed the cultures. Taking it out of the fridge. Show yourselves. Okay, I've been looking around for some example white worms. I don't have them in very big numbers, but you can see that, there's some little worms being wormy right over here. This is the substrate that I'm going to use for my worms and also for my grindle worms that I'll be doing in a few days. It's just like an organic potting soil. This has been sitting out in my garage for a while. It's dry. It's probably contaminated with all kinds of little bugs that I don't want. Anything like mites or little bug eggs, I just don't want them in my nice clean culture that I'm trying to make. So I'm going to sterilize it. I'm going to sterilize some dirt. According to gardeningknowhow.com, I can sterilize dirt in the microwave. And that just sounds like the easiest thing to do. So let's sterilize some dirt in the microwave. Don't tell my family I'm doing this. I put a bunch of my dry potting soil into a bucket and added tank water just to moisten it up. So now I'm going to, scoop out some nice dirt, put it into a microwave safe container. Okay, I'm just going to start with this amount, I guess. The directions said for every couple of pounds of dirt, and this might be a couple pounds of dirt. There's my casserole dish of dirt. I'm going to put it in the microwave. Should I leave it a little cracked maybe for some ventilation? I don't know. Never microwaved dirt before. So the instructions said to do it for like 90 seconds per pound of dirt. Let's just do 2 minutes. Okay, here we go. I actually ended up giving it like an extra 2 minutes because it was really slightly hot when I took it out the first time. Now, oh, that's some hot dirt right there. Steamy. You know the smell of concrete and dirt right after it rains? This is not the same. This will be my new garage whiteworm culture. So I'm going to take my casserole dish of hot dirt, dump it in here, and then I'm going to do probably 1 or 2 more of these. All right, here's one of the cultures from my fridge, and this is the hot dirt with saran wrap over it to make sure no bugs get in from the garage. I have these out here so they're gonna come to the same temperature. This one's gonna warm up a little bit after being in the fridge for like half a year, and this is gonna cool down because it's still way too hot. So they'll equalize, and then I'll add the culture to the bin. So now I'd like to add some ventilation to the lid. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut out a little square right there and maybe like hot glue some kind of mesh or paper there just to make sure there's some good ventilation and none of the little bugs get in. So my plan totally worked. Check it out. This is, I cut out a little square, I hot glued this piece of hose to it. I'm not sure just how good an idea of hot glue it was. If you use hot glue on a plastic surface that is bendy and you bend it, the hot glue can just pop off. So I'm just gonna be really careful with this lid and not bend the plastic whenever I go to open it. Okay, I let this dirt cool down for a few hours just to be sure. And now I'm opening up my microworms. I mean, no, these are white worms. But I'm just gonna dump this whole thing into the new culture on one side. Just like that. I'll use a spoon to get all the rest out. I'm just kind of packing it down to make it even. So what I'll do is I'll feed the fresh side. Hopefully all the worms will kind of migrate over into the fresh side, and then I can eventually replace this dirt over here. And this should be a pretty good culture. That was it. Now I'll go put this out in the garage, and then hopefully in like 3, maybe 4 weeks, I'll have so many worms, just squirming gobs of worms that I can feed to my fish. Just in time for Christmas. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have more videos on live foods coming out pretty soon. Be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.